Namaskar, I'm Ajaya. Today we welcome Shri Vasudeva to explore his upcoming workshop on learning to cultivate a silent mind. Welcome.
Thank you.
You have chosen the theme of learning to cultivate a silent mind for this year-end retreat. Can you tell us a little bit about why you chose this theme?
I always believe that in the fundamental training of the mind, we need to learn how not to compulsively think. Before you can train the mind to think in a particular direction, first bring it into a ground state or a zero state of silence. Because if you can master that first, then you can master any kind of focusing. So people are trying to learn to focus, but they are not doing the essential training of bringing the mind into a zero state of thinking. So we need to come into that space of total silence if we want to learn how to control the mind. So I think this, even for children and beginners, they need to give importance to cultivating a silent mind. It is the first time that I'm doing this this theme in a separate retreat. And a silent mind is so essential to all spiritual practice.
In today's world, with so many demands and a focus on multitasking, why is a silent mind so important to observe?
It's about listening. In our busy world, we can be so taken up with so many tasks that we have so many thoughts in the mind. And we're not able to listen closely to what people are saying because we are so preoccupied. Or we are not able to listen to the inner space from where knowledge can come from that reservoir of existence, that universal mind, as it were. So in the busyness of life, we need to have the stillness of mind to really work in such a way that we can become more efficient. We become so stressful from all these extensive thinking or incessant thinking or the compulsiveness to think, that it's important at the end of the day, because we have so many stresses from the thinking, to be able to de-stress for our health and well-being. We need to de-stress. So at the end of the day, or even during the day, we need to have periods where we can rest the mind completely. Silence can do that.
What can we look forward to at this workshop?
The training that you'll be exposed to with me can bring one into a deeper space of silence by taking a journey in the consciousness. So my way of guiding is to take a journey in the consciousness and try to come to the very root of the mind, which is where the silence is. So over the period of 3 days, I'm going to cover major topics like witnessing, which is extremely important on the journey of consciousness shifting. I'm going to talk about the breath, because the breath is an extremely important component in managing the senses. I'll also be speaking about the relationship between the silent mind and Kundalini and the chakras, the relationship between the prana of the breath and the mind and senses, and also the practices to bring the mind into a better place, to bring the mind more humble, more peaceful, more in listening mode, and more into present moment awareness.
You mentioned witnessing. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, witness means you observe things without judgment, without creating beliefs and ideas, but just pure observing without judging. In a very simple way, I'll say that's what witnessing is. But of course, and I will speak about it in the workshop, witnessing also has to do with your level of consciousness. Witnessing will begin to become deeper and broader as our consciousness expands, because then we'll be witnessing from a deeper space of being with a more expansive field of view. So when we become more spiritually conscious, you can imagine the level of witnessing that we have. We'll see like when an eagle flies and can see the whole space with sharp, very sharp eyes. Their eyes are extremely sharp and wide-angled. So too we will see with the eyes of like an eagle looking. We will see the whole landscape of our multidimensional existence.
How best can we prepare for this workshop to make the most out of these practices?
I think what we have decided is to give people information as to how to prepare themselves. So it is important to go back to some of my teachings and practices, and as much as we can understand them and use them. So we become familiar with the terms, we become familiar with the practices. So when you come here for the workshop, or you are in the workshop, you'll get to understand them better. Because I'm spending all 3 days just on this one subject. It's extremely important, those of you who are viewing, to understand that even though you may not be actively here in my physical presence, but if you view the workshop from where you are, you can still be very, very much involved with what's happening here. And physical distance, if you're really connecting from a deeper space, is not important at all. So stay connected from the inner space with us. Use all the materials that we have, and so you can have the best experience of those 3 days of workshop. And you need to prepare. So get all the material. We're going to actually count down now the days, and so it's going to be very exciting if you stay with us on the journey. So this is what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much for your insights. Please join us from December 22nd to December 29th. Register online at www.blue-star.org. We look forward to our countdown, as Sri Vasudeva mentioned, our themed messages, and our pre-registration materials that will be coming out in order to prepare and to make the most out of these workshops. Thank you.